going to need the material seen in this picture along with a crochet hook. First, you're going to need a knitting hook, a knitting needle, scissors, yarn, and a long loom. In this case, I'm using 6 pegs, but if you want your headband to be wider, just add more pegs. So first, you're going to start grabbing 2 pieces of yarn and making a slip knot on your finger. Make a slip knot, tie it tight, and put it on your first peg. This is going to be your first loop. Now you're going to do an E-wrap. So you're going to start on the second peg because your first one already has the knot, and go back and front, back, front, all the way to the end. When you get to the end, hold your yarn and push it down with your other hand. Once the yarn's at the bottom of your pegs, you can go back. In this case, you're going to go through the front and back. Do that again, front, back, and then E-wrap again. So every time you get to the end, you're going to do it the opposite direction. Now that you're done, you're going to hold your yarn and you're going to knit over. So you grab your hook, you grab your bottom yarn, and you knit that loop over the peg and into the middle of your loom. Now that you're done, you're going to push them all down again. So now that they're all at the bottom, you're going to loop them around one more time. So through the front and then back. You're going to do the first ones always backwards from the rest. Hold the yarn, loop over, and do that for all the pegs. Now you're knitting your second row. So once you've knit all of them, you're going to push them down again. I'm going to do it one close up. Through the front and then through the back. And then continue to do the E-wrap through the back. Back front, back front, back front, back front. Hold the yarn, knit over with your knitting hook, and knit all of them over. To know how long you should make your headband, just measure the circumference of the head that you're making it for. I made mine about 22 or 23 inches long, and here it is. So now you're going to grab it and slip it back through the middle of your loom, and make sure it's still on the right side, so when you see it, it's all one piece like a headband. And then you're going to grab the loops at the very end, and you're going to put them back on the pegs. So these are the first loops that you made with when you did your cast on E-wrap. You're going to put them and just slip them back on all the pegs. This is going to be your second row that you're going to be knitting over, and it's your last one. And after this, we're going to be casting off. So now they're all on. So you're going to knit over the bottom row, over the first, which is going to close the loop, and you're going to have a complete headband. So again, take your knitting hook and knit over the bottom row on all of the pegs. So once you finish knitting all of them over, just keep some long yarn at the very end. This is your finishing yarn. You're gonna keep just some length of it and then cut it. And once you've cut it, just loop it, feed it through your knitting needle. Now slip the needle through the loop on the first peg and pull the yarn all the way over, and then take the loop off. And you're going to do this for all of them. So put the knitting needle through the loop on the second peg all the way through it, and then pull the remaining yarn through the loop, and when it's all done, you take the loop off the peg. Sorry, I'm coming off camera, but there, you take it off the peg. Use your knitting hook if you need to. I needed to on that one. It was kind of tight. So through your loop, make sure it doesn't get caught on anything else, and then take the loop off the peg. And you're going to do this for all of the pegs until you finish on the very last one. So when you get to the very last one, you're going to knit it through, and as you take it off the peg, the whole headband comes off your loom. So you can slip it right off. And here's your ending. So what you're going to do is you're just going to sew through to make sure that it's nice and tightly shut together so that it's one continuous circle. So you're kind of sewing at this point. So with your needle, just pull the yarn through from the bottom to the top and from the top to the bottom again, and just make it nice and tight so that it doesn't come undone. Once you're done, it's kind of going to look like this. So this is your headband. Again, mine's a little bit thinner than maybe what yours might be like if you wanted to cover your whole ears or something, but here it is, and here it is finished. Now what we're going to do is to cover that section that you sewed together, I grab my loom, my long loom. Again, you can make this on a round loom if you only have that. You also don't need the thin pegs, it just makes it easier for me, but you can use the same pegs you were using before on the round loom. So E-wrap it like we did at the beginning of the video, push it all the way down, and again you're going back, so you're going through the front and then through the back, back, front, all the way around. Hold your yarn and you're going to loop it over. You're going to knit over with your knitting hook. Sorry, it's a little bit blurry. And just knit over your whole row, and you're going to do this for the width, twice the width of your headband. So once you've done it all the way through, this is kind of what it looks like, and you're ready to take it off the loom. So to take it off, I'm going to be using a crochet hook. You don't need to use a crochet hook, you can just use your knitting hook, but if you have one, it could make it a little bit easier. So you take it off. You take the first loop off, you put it on your crochet hook, and I just went up. You take off your second one, and you add it onto your crochet hook. It's a little bit difficult because I was trying to keep it on the camera, but and now what you're going to do is you're going to take the first loop that you put on your crochet hook, which should be the one on the back. You're going to grab it with your hook, and you're going to take it off the crochet hook. So as you can see, there's still one on, which is the second one you added. So again, you're going to take off the loop, put it on the crochet hook, and take it off the crochet hook. And you're going to do that all the way across until you're done with this very last one. And then just make a quick knot, and you got your little square all done. So now this is the section I'm going to put it over, which is the section that I had to sew together. So I close it around, I feed my remaining yarn through the knitting needle, and I sew it together. So push the needle from one end of the little block of extra yarn that you added to your headband to the other side. And then when it's tight, do it to the other side. This is basically closing it off so that you have that little accent. You can make this any color you want, or you can even change the style of yarn that you're using. So basically just close it off so that it's nice and tight, and then you won't see where you actually closed your headband. So it'll look like one continuous infinity loop. Again, your headband could be a lot wider if you wanted to use it more for like warmer weather, but here it is all done. You can make it as a gift, or you can make it just for yourself, wider for the winter, smaller for the spring, and I really hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.